Can you provide a comment or a response to some of the people who may say, why don't immigrants come into this country the right way? What is the right way?
There's not a right way to come into the country. Like Renata was saying, people did come the right way. They came, you can approach the border and say, I request asylum, I fear persecution in my country of origin. Like, that is the legal way. And when people are doing that, they're either being put in detention or not being, they're supposed to get a reasonable fear interview and a credible fear interview and go through the process of applying for asylum. There's certain grounds for which you can be granted asylum if you fear certain types of things, certain types of persecution. And that's just for asylum, but there are other types of immigration relief as well. People are not being allowed to get through the system. The process takes 7 or 8 years to get through for asylum, and in that time, people are now being deported without final orders of removal. We're seeing a lot of people being arrested even when they present ICE with work papers. If you have authorization to work in this country, then you're here legally. You might not have final documentation of your immigration status yet, but you're going through the process the right way. You have applied, you have told the government you're here, I'm applying for this type of visa, and they said, okay, we'll put you on the list, and you have to wait your turn. But then now, in the meantime, ICE and Florida Highway Patrol and all these 287G deputized state officers are going around arresting people regardless of whether they came here the right way, regardless of where they're at in their process. And they're putting people in detention, taking them away from attorneys, away from anyone who's able to help them defend against deportation. They're pressuring people to sign deportation orders. One of the people who's in the Everglades facility is this man with a mental impairment, and he thought he was signing, he doesn't speak English, he thought he was signing a form to get a blanket because they had the AC really cold that day, but he didn't know it, but he was signing a voluntary departure form. They're just tricking people into signing these forms without letting them actually read in their own language what the form says, or coercing them into signing it because they're like literally being tortured and forced to sign these forms. So people are trying to come through the right way, and that's just not actually an option in reality. That doesn't protect you from deportation.